So, are y'all a Jackie Chan fan? Jackie Chan fans?
I'm one of those guys. I still think Rumble in the Bronx is probably the top tier of what he's ever done. I know there's other really good ones like Who Am I and whatnot, but that's such a good movie. Rumble in the Bronx. Just solid.
I think that era of Jackie Chan movies was like mid '90s, late '90s, just
Hmm.
like peak. Like that's when I feel like he really came up. No, he's always there. It's just that was the core relevance in my childhood for Jackie Chan was like the movies of that period of time.
Okay. Kareem.
He's actually one of my favorite martial arts stars.
Absolutely.
Because I've been rocking with his movies forever
Yeah.
since OG Drunken Master.
Look,
Yeah,
I want to say I'm a huge fan, but when I really look at his filmography, I barely scratched the surface. And I'm like, how have I known this man? Well, not known this man, but like, how have I been watching this man my whole life? And I've only seen a small percentage of his movies.
Was it that you only seen like his American movies, like movies made here, or
No, like Drunken Master, Young Master. I remember. I don't know. They don't really do these anymore because physical media. But like, I've bought one or two Jackie Chan like compilation DVDs where they just threw movies up there.
Hmm.
So I've seen a lot of random stuff. But he just has made so many movies, and a
yes,
lot of them are
yes.
like so well known that it's still like I haven't seen so much. Like I've
There's a
never seen
lot.
Police Stories.
You ever seen Police Story?
yeah, that's another
Yeah.
one. Or
That
Super
is a
Cop.
crime.
Didn't they do like
See?
a didn't they do a live action version of the anime City Hunter?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He's
that's
in
the one
He's
where he
just
cross dresses as Chun Li. I
it
think.
is.
Yeah,
That was classic. That whole scene.
Yeah, so like I don't know if I can get away with saying I'm a huge Jackie fan because there's so many blind spots, but one day I'm gonna knock him out.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, I don't know about knock him out, but
There's
If you
so many.
see 20, that's probably enough. That's enough to say I'm a decent Jackie Chan fan because you've seen 20 of them.
I think I'm at 20, but I want to be at 50.
That
I've at least
okay?
seen I've at least seen 20 or so, but I doubt I remember everything. Just no way.
It's just ain't no way.
I'm looking through the list, and
There's a ton. Are you looking at his Wikipedia?
yeah,
It's
and
crazy.
so far I think there's only five I have not seen.
Okay, so you the
Damn.
huge Jackie fan. All right.
Okay.
I
Okay.
because I grew up in a household where my uncles and cousins all martial arts movies fan, kung fu movie fans,
Okay.
and VHS is up like lined up the wall. Mostly old martial arts movies, kung fu movies.
Hmm.
I mean, now might not be culturally appropriate,
Oh yeah.
but back then that's what we all rocked on, especially since we didn't have cable.
I mean, I get it.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
was me. My mom likes to say she used to go to the movies when she was pregnant with me to see kung fu movies, and like that's where I got it from. I was like, all right. I mean, I can't argue with you.
I was gonna say pregnancy cravings are crazy. Um, when I was like late teens or something, I was kind of rolling backwards in like physical media. So I was just buying VHSs at random, and one of them I actually came across was the Fearless Hyena, which is like a 1979 Jackie Chan kung fu movie.
Yeah.
Um, and I watched the shit out of that. That and like Master of the Flying Guillotine. Like
Yeah.
there were some that just like hit really well, and they weren't
You're bringing
action
back
movies that we
memories.
had contemporarily at that time. Like
Mm.
early 2000s, I feel like they're kind of like movies that we just watch now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like they had some big action scenes, but it wasn't about like kung fu per
They were
se.
very story driven.
Right.
Yeah, and then they kind of shoehorn a well choreographed fight scene somewhere in there.
Right.
Right.
Okay, well, how about this? Are y'all John Cena fans?
I feel like a lot of people like John Cena, but I mean, as far as things go for me, I can't see him as a movie
Uh,
star.
I love him as an actor. I'm sorry, he's hilarious in most
Yeah,
of his roles.
dude, Peacemaker was great.
Here's the thing: people like to pit them against each other, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. The Rock is the most charismatic. Batista is the best actor, and John Cena is the funniest to me.
You think Batista's a
Cena's
better
got a
actor than The
lot of
Rock?
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
a lot of comedy chops. He just does.
I think both of them are pompous. Now, The Rock is worse. I don't think The Rock is evil yet, but he's getting there.
Very
Yeah,
close.
I think Batista, the all of the like the man, he's the best wrestler turned actor. Is starting to get to his head, and he's starting to turn into a dick.
A little
But
bit.
John Cena, I think, he's a genuinely good person, and he's the funniest out of the three of them.
I feel like we're witnessing The Rock's villain origin story right now.
Like it's happening. Like he
Yeah,
donated
especially
$1 million to the SAG strike
Which is great.
as kind of like a red herring. Like, hey, y'all don't see me turning evil.
Yeah.
If I had a
That's what
movie
it
to
feels
promote
like.
right now, I would be promoting it.
Like,
don't
he's
even think I wouldn't.
I
not
mean,
not just promoting it, but trying to take over the studio also. You know?
yeah,
Yeah,
especially all the
that's
stuff that
been the
went down
problem
with.
with him. Yeah.
With Black Adam.
Oh yeah, I was shocked at that. I was like, wait, hold on.
What'd you
How
say?
you gonna turn? He said the stuff about Black Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard Black Hawk Down. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, that
anyway,
too. They're remaking Black Hawk Down.
with just The Rock.
Yeah, he's every character.
He's the Black Hawk.
You're not putting me down. Yeah, rock bottoms the missile that comes out of the.
We're taking him to a nice Black Hawk farm upstate.
Yeah, which is sad because I actually liked The Rock in his movies. I thought he had really good movies.
Yeah. I perceived him as being generally unproblematic, and there's not a lot of representation for Islanders in cinema.
Right.
So I was stoked until all the other stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, all right, we'll just put him aside. It's okay. We got him.
My inkling of him being kind of a little bit like over, like too into himself was, what was that? Central Intelligence. Him and
I love
Kevin
that
Hart.
one.
No, okay, it's not that that's a bad. That movie's good. That movie's fun. But remember, during that time, he was like, I just don't understand why people would go to X movie when they go to Central Intelligence, and it was like it didn't seem like a joke.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Oh,
He
okay.
genuinely
he was-
didn't know.
like
That
he
was also around the time when like he was starting to get so beloved that like people were like he should run for president, and he was like
Yeah.
also
Maybe-
kind of starting to entertain
He was
the
like,
idea.
maybe I will.
And it's like, no, don't.
I think him seeing Kid Rock go for it was like, oh, that looks ridiculous. Okay, cool. No, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
he
do
definitely dialed it back since, but I feel like the idea is still in his head.
Yeah, he saw Schwarzenegger do. He's like, I could probably do that.
He,
I could probably
he
do
got a
that. I don't
little
have an
too
accent.
full of himself after that skit on SNL where he was the Rock Obama.
Yeah.
I could do this 24/7.
And he looks so nice when he came to my job. I was like, he looks like a generally nice guy. But this stuff started coming out. I was like, oh,
That's his job, is to probably seem approachable to some extent.
You know, the world isn't black and white. I think he
is, though.
can still
Sorry. I apologize.
he said no. It's not everybody, but him. No, him in this case is true. It's
he
true.
is
Actually,
he
black
is
and Hawaiian. I'm sorry.
black and Samoan. But he like I think he's nice, but also think
I'm thinking about Vin Diesel.
like definitely ego driven, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
He's got the
there's-
chops. He's done some great stuff, but there
Yeah.
is that mild inkling of like, I'm probably better than Brad Pitt when you think about it. Like, slow down.
Yeah,
See,
oh,
down.
pump your brakes,
See,
pump your
One,
brakes.
you
one,
don't-
pick
you
a
don't-
different actor. Two, still no.
You don't have the career to be that conceited yet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you hit your popularity, sure, but that Denzel, if he's conceited, people are like, okay, it's Denzel.
Yeah.
We'll just take it. But you've been out for maybe 5 minutes, and you haven't had any Oscar
He's
worthy.
been out for a while,
You-
but
It's like
he's
you were in a movie
definitely-
with Statham, and you were like, "Oh, we're co-billing this movie," and I'm like, "Are
You know
you
what?
though?"
Talk to me when 80% of your movies is not with Kevin
Look.
Hart. That's
Oh,
hot
that's
take.
when you
I
can talk
think
to me.
that's hey, that's a little much.
In the long run of like buddy comedies, are you more of a Rock Kevin Hart, or are you a John Cena Jackie Chan?
Rock
dear.
Kevin Hart.
Rock Kevin Hart.
Mm,
Hey,
nah,
hot
you can
take,
have him.
I think he deserves like the level he's at. Like, I just don't like people who breathe their own smoke. But
Get
He's
high on their own
definitely
supply.
yeah, he's
Can you
definitely
smell?
movie star and
Yeah.
not actor. Like he's a
Mhm.
movie star,
Yeah.
not a
No, he
thespian,
is a
right?
movie star.
Like
Yes.
Denzel, thespian.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
If we're circling back to the question though between The Rock, Cena, and Batista, because I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think I like Batista the best.
Okay, but for
Cena is a
which
second.
like acting?
I want to say yes, but I do think Cena has a better sense of humor
Yeah.
and delivery.
His
Yeah.
timing is great.
Yeah, because Peacekeeper was Peacekeeper, not Peacemaker. Peacekeeper was a great show.
Like I think all three of them can do comedy, but Cena's the funniest.
Mhm.
If it was like a role where you got to really dig deep, Batista,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and The Rock is just like The Rock. He's just Mr. Charisma. So I
If
get
if
it.
Maybe I have not seen enough Batista movies because I have he has he been in any? No, what? No, I'm lying. Because I just
Not
seen
there you
knock
go.
at the cabin.
That's it. That's his
That
most recent.
Yeah.
that woke me up to him. That I was
Yeah.
like, okay, you're past Guardians now. That's yeah.
I can never remember what it was I saw
Oh,
him
and
in
Glass
before
Onion.
Guardians, and I was like, "Oh, this guy's acting
I still need
cool,
to watch
cool."
those.
Probably 2049.
Oh yeah,
That's when people first was like, "Hey, he
yeah.
did
It
his
very
little
much was like,
part."
"All right, okay,
Yeah.
cool."
So I get it. But yeah,
Do you think it's maybe The Rock chose movies that would make him more popular, where
Yes.
so as Batista was just choosing movies because he wanted to act?
yes, I 100% because I remember when The Rock started, it was Scorpion King, and then
Yes.
he fell into the rut of doing the children or the family movies, and
Yes.
then he
That sounds
realized,
familiar.
hey, I stopped acting so I can be an action star, and now I'm falling into that trap with the family movies too fast. And then he course corrected, and Fast Five definitely helped that out. And so then he became like action star again.
I mean, it's 100% why he and Vin Diesel butt heads so much. They had the same trajectory,
Yeah.
and he just wants to feel better about what he did. When no, you all did the same thing. Vin Diesel got bit by a goose, and you went to Witch Mountain.
Oh God. Yeah, if you have a movie that's a reboot of an older series that is featuring Jack Black, I'd imagine that The Rock would be the first person to sign up. You know what I mean? Because it seems more about like popularity and what's going to get the most views, and net him the most like money coming back.
Yeah.
I'd much prefer to see Batista in just about anything.
Yeah, it's definitely at least between the two of them, they choose specific roles.
Oh no, you just put a bad
Cena,
thing in my head.
I think Cena is just having fun, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that for him.
I think he genuinely was asked if he wanted to act and went, "Throw me a role and let's see what happens." And after that, it was like, what? I spent like 12 weeks doing this fun thing, eating whatever I want, just working out 15 minutes before I go on camera. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go do that. Let's go do that.
I do want to defend Vin Diesel just in the fact that he does have the Chronicles of Riddick in his catalog, as opposed to The Rock, who has, I don't know, any number
Keep saying
of
Scorpion.
Hobbs,
5 out of
Hobbs.
10.
I mean, I know that's Vin Diesel's baby, but his greatest role is because he stole the show from him in Fast
Yeah.
Five, and
That all started right there.
yeah.
They had to give Vin Diesel that Apple box, and it was on from that point on.
That's why they butt heads.
Mhm.
Rock started to steal his baby, and I think he was like literally trying to, and like the family, that's when Tyrese had the whole thing and all that, and like
Mhm.
Paul Walker died, and it was like, now you can't be stealing this shit from us when Paul just died, and it was the whole thing. Yeah.
The Rock was like, "Hey, nature abhors a vacuum, son."
It's God, it'd be terrifying to hear him say things like that.
But yeah, on that note,
Vaseline in that big ass forehead.
Wow.
I smell
That
baby
was-
oil.
That was rude.
And that was off the top. So he's like
Yeah.
a naturally like funny person, but like Cena, I don't know, something about Cena. Anyway, on that note, thank you for joining us today. If this is your first time with us, we're the secret group of brown kids. Who are the secret group of brown kids? It's a secret. But you might be able to find us throwing foam parties and oil refineries in the desert.
Ugh.
Wow.
And on the
Wow.
panel today, we got Tim, Ren, and Kareem came back. Hey!
Welcome.
And I'm your host, Tiff. And today we are doing Hidden Strike, the Jackie Chan John Cena Netflix original. It actually went to theaters overseas, and it's
Okay.
just Netflix on our side. But so there's like a little
Okay.
box office
Ah.
for it. And if you don't know what it is, two ex-special forces soldiers must escort a group of civilians along Baghdad's highway of death to the safety of the Green Zone. Fun fact, the highway of death is actually Kuwait, not Iraq, but nothing
Yes.
matters. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, in this weird fictional world where like it's just a desert riddled with exploded cars.
Hey, it's in the near future, apparently, so they got some that allowed them some liberties, I guess. All right.
Was this basically like green screen the movie, like the film, the action?
That was one of the biggest issues with this. Is like sometimes you could tell that a scene was like in a location, it was very well thought out and good lighting, and then immediately after that, the next scene would be Spy Kids 3D.
In
Yeah.
their defense, a lot of the Chinese co-production movies are like this.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I will say, I mean, we'll get into it later, but they did have one set. The village was a set. Now the rest,
Yeah.
not so much. But I mean, they're only in like 3 locations anyway. Anyway,
I will say that like one of the highlights for the movie was some of the set pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Were really
Yeah.
cool. Like there was a field of just like old satellite dishes.
Yeah, the
Which
satellite
was really cool from afar.
that was like very Cyberpunk 2077. It was like a very
yeah.
desolate, messed up area that was like anything could go wrong in the. I don't know. It was kind of well set up.
My only thing is the set looked so similar to that other Netflix movie that was like Ocean's 11 but zombies.
Oh,
I can't think of the name
I
of
know
it.
what you're talking about. That one had Bautista in it. It was Robert Rodriguez, wasn't it?
I think so.
It was on the other
not
side
not
of the green
Robert
screen.
Rodriguez. It was Zack Snyder.
Oh, sorry.
the-
Okay.
with the Vegas, the heist.
Yeah,
the
zombie
Vegas
heist
heist.
movie.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
It's okay. Circle
I
back.
know today, but yeah, that the set looks so. I was confused for a second. Like, wait, did I click on the wrong movie?
I mean,
no, this is right.
both were a lot of CGI, and they're the
Mhm.
desert, one desert and another desert. So I get it.
They're actually next to each other.
But speaking of Netflix, this came out on Netflix, at least in the US and I think North America, but like overseas, I said it got some theatrical run. And it's only been out like 3 weeks, at least over here. I think it came out like a month ago overseas, but nobody cares. None of this matters. And why do we watch the movie? Literally because I like Jackie Chan and John Cena, and I assumed y'all did too. Or at least enough to watch a movie with them in it.
I wanted to see
was
where
okay.
this was going to
Yeah.
go because it was very clear that some executive went, John Cena speaks some Chinese.
Yeah, it seemed like a good
Let's
opportunity.
go. He was in a viral video that was almost racist, but that's do
Yeah,
it.
the Bing Chilling.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be Sylvester Stallone.
I wanted to
And-
see if this had any if they had any charisma with each other. Like this was
Yeah.
the new duo that we were going to be seeing.
I had
You
high
know-
hopes.
You know, I don't like to put it this way, but if you just skip ahead too hard, if you watch the outtakes, you had two consummate professionals doing their best. Because there's a part in the outtakes where Jackie Chan's like, just got this look on his face, like, is somebody gonna shut this man up?
He did that Jim Halpert look at the camera thing.
Yes, he
No,
totally
it's just
looks dead into it. Like,
You believe this shit?
He did it twice.
Yeah.
what do you say? He's like, he's still going.
Yeah, that
I don't
whole
understand
bit
a
John
word
Cena
he's
had
saying.
about eating ass the whole time. Just like, God damn, he just doesn't.
He almost said, I don't understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. Like he was so close.
See, they totally missed that opportunity in the middle of the
Mhm.
movie. They could have written that in so easily. Could have
Yeah.
been Jackie Chan saying about John Cena, but they blew it.
All right. But yeah, directed by Scott Wah? I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he directed Need for Speed and Act of Valor.
Wait,
I
what?
didn't see Act of Valor, but Need for Speed.
Oh, Need for Speed was a
yeah.
little decent.
Yeah, and he's going to direct, or he's directing Expendables 4, which is about to come out.
Oh my god, they're making another one of those.
There's another one?
Do I have to have never seen any of the Expendables movies to skip that one?
Nope,
So
you have
here's
to
the
watch them
thing:
all.
Oh shit.
Expendables 3 set up like a new crew, and I don't think that they went with the new crew. I think it's still the old crew.
God damn it.
Aren't they too old?
They're getting
Hey,
their
That's the joke.
colostomy bags changed.
Isn't that the whole bit?
That's the joke, yeah.
They watched Spy Kids 3 and they went, Ricardo Montalban can barely walk and he's in a movie. Let's
I thought they
do it.
did the too old joke in the last movie. This is just
Well,
okay.
now they're just gonna
Alright.
do. Now we're too old.
Okay, all right.
I was too
Okay.
old for this shit 20 years ago.
Look, I liked 1. I think I liked 2.
Two
2
was
and 3
was
it kind of blend together for
tolerable.
me.
10
Two
out
I've
of
was
only
10
barely
tolerable.
on your
seen. I've
letterbox.
seen about half of 1. And then at a car show one time, someone drove a truck up that it was riddled in bullets, like it had bullet holes all in it, and I was like, "What is that mess?" And he goes, "Oh, it's like the truck from Expendables." And I was like, "That's the stupidest tribute car I've ever seen."
Didn't two introduce Wesley Snipes into it?
Nah, I mean, yeah, I mean, yes, but I thought that was good because he just got out of prison, and then they like
Yeah.
leaned into that because he was in prison. They broke him out of prison in the movie,
Ah,
and then it was like he couldn't sleep on a bed because he was used to sleeping on like his bed in prison was so hard, so he just slept on the floor, and
Jesus
I
Christ.
appreciated that.
was his adversary a tax man?
I get Jesus. I guarantee you that it was his idea.
That's his sense of humor.
Cause like yeah, and then like Stallone kind of like let them do what they want, kind of like he had the frame, and then they could do whatever they wanted, and like when he went to Van Damme to be in it, he was like, "Hey, you want to be in Expendables?" And Van Damme was like, "Well, what's my character like?" He was like, "It could be whatever you want it to be, man." He's like, "No, I need to know what my character's
What's
like."
my
It's like,
motivation?
yeah. And so
We're
that's why
just
Van
making
Damme came
stuff
back
up.
as the
Show up.
bad guy,
We'll
I
just
think, in
make
the
it up.
second one.
So you're a
Just,
kickboxer.
just show up with an accent and grab a gun, and we'll figure it out.
Pick a different ethnicity and pretend you can do the accent, and that's every movie you did. That's what we're doing.
What's the backstory?
Back story, front story, up, down, left, right. Just go.
No, it's Street Fighter. Hey, I did have one question. What about this movie was
Is it? I'm
hidden
going
or
to kick that
striking?
bison's ass so hard. I'm sorry.
There was. I'm gonna kick Bison's ass so hard it will be Tuesday. I don't know.
That the next bison wannabe will feel it. Oh, you said what about the movie was Hidden Strike? Well, they created a sandstorm and they hit him in the sandstorm.
They used that once. That was such a cool trick. They did it once.
That's the Hidden Strike.
The most hidden guy was the dude who clearly worked for the bad guys and what was
name is
staying at the
Strike.
oil refinery for like 6-8 months. And he just walks up and puts an X on the truck. I know we're establishing story like too early. I was like, that guy's fired.
It took me too long to realize exactly what was going on because like John Cena's talking about water. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe it's
Hold
water.
on.
It's in a desert.
Let me finish getting this out the
Okay,
way
I'm sorry.
because
He's
it's
tank
hard to
girling
wrangle
it.
all three of y'all.
You cut
I'm just glad it wasn't just me because
Okay,
I actually restarted it twice because I was like, did I look at my phone and miss like a large chapter?
dude, that's what I thought it was.
I have one fantastically huge note to make later. We'll just let's let Chiffron move on, I think.
I'm almost done. So $80,000 budget. Does that make sense?
What?
Wow.
Yes. Wait.
40 for Jackie and Cena, and 40
That's
for
it?
the
Movie.
special effects, right?
Wow.
80,000. They could have
Uh,
made any Wes Anderson movie for
That
that.
actually,
Right?
yeah,
You said any West End.
I don't know, guys. There had to be like an artesian baker that they spent like all 20 grand on, though.
Maybe
that
the
makes
catering.
sense. Why they got the Party City costumes and everything.
I think everybody just brought costumes from home.
I had the special forces uniform. And overseas it made 2 million. We don't know how much Netflix paid for it, but you know, I'm
Probably
gonna
too much.
assume. Well, a lot of the stuff, like looking back at like XYZ, like they have some bangers, but they also make a lot of straight to Netflix stuff too. So they
All their
probably
action
already had
movies
it
feel
worked
like
out.
this movie. So
Well, there's they have such a range. Like there's like they have the Raid 2, and like not It Comes at Night, The Night Comes for Us, and then they have like the Titan
Gross.
and Ark, and so like Netflix sci-fi movies, which are okay Sunday movies. So
Oh,
It's
you mean
all
like
over the place.
65?
Uh, that went to theaters.
If they don't get that Scott
Not for
Pilgrim
long.
thing on the road, I'm canceling my subscription.
Wait, which movie?
Which
Wait.
we said like 18.
60.
Which one you talking?
You told 60.
Oh no,
65.
65.
just
I
65.
Adam
I still
Driver.
I still haven't watched that.
We
Yeah.
I
watched
need
it
to watch
last week.
that.
You're not missing. Watch it on a Sunday when you ain't got nothing going on. That's the
Wash
best.
dishes.
Or
Oh,
if you have
Like,
to like fold laundry or something,
Yeah.
perfect.
oh no. Oh,
there's
No,
okay.
there
that's a,
are there are 3 people in the movie max.
we're not
Yeah.
saying don't watch it, but
4.
to get the
Oh,
optimal amount of enjoyment out of it, it has to be like a lazy Sunday.
the movie could have been accomplished with the
Like you'll
same
enjoy it. You
technology
just
they
don't
did
go
Final
and
Fantasy Spirits Within.
Oh, I honestly would have rather have
I
seen.
mean,
It's
it's
been
Adam.
good.
It's Adam Driver. I didn't have high expectations anyway.
what? Don't
At
let
some point, he punched the drywall. And,
don't let Sherry hear you. That's her boo.
Oh, for real?
Watch
I
out.
did not know that.
All right, but real quick before we get into it, one, we about to spoil everything, as usual. If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. What's stopping you? Oh, I know the fact that we already kind of let you know it's not the greatest movie.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Yeah, is definitely
Was
a
it?
movie. It's a
Was it?
sequence of scenes.
I would rather watch. And this is gonna sound. You guys are gonna get mad. Probably. I
Mad.
would rather watch this than the remake of Walking Tall.
I would too.
The remake of Walking Tall made me upset.
You
Not
mean
just because I
you
liked
mean with
the
The Rock?
original movie. Yeah. Not just because I liked the original movie, but because they put no effort into that movie.
I saw that in theaters. So, real quick, gonna do some shout outs. Quebec and Ontario going strong. I think
All right.
Ontario is Justin. What up, boo? UK trying to catch up to Canada, and we got at least one person in London and someone in Wales. So shout out Wales. India joined in. We got
All right.
someone listening from India.
I gotta
Not
start watching this with the VPN off. I want some stats from over here.
Watch it be funny that it's just you on VPN.
No. I feel like if anything, it's any random US is me because I just pick somewhere that's. I'm not
Okay.
trying to like watch Netflix from like somewhere else. I'm just like being paranoid.
The government, you don't want the FBI agent to see what Netflix movie you're watching. Hidden Strike.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I want better selections for shoes when I'm shopping.
I got you. Illinois, Texas, and Washington, they still with us. I don't know if Brazil is still with us. Idaho, shout out Idaho. I mean, you might be Idaho. I don't know. But if you're a real
It's
person,
just
Idaho, appreciate you. And I know Ren is California, but I don't know if I don't think he's the only California. So whoever the other California
No.
person is, hey, we
Well, now
probably
we
know
gotta
you.
fight. So
Uh-oh.
the Highlander style, there can only be one.
But so I know we kind of already said it, but one by one, how do we feel about the movie real quick? I'm gonna go in the order of people I see on my screen. So Ren,
Okay. The movie is fine in the long line of Jackie Chan. We have like this kind of 2 cent plot written out. We just need to plug in Jackie Chan and have him kind of work his magic, and the movie will sell. It's not going to go crazy. It's not going to be incredible, but it will be a Jackie Chan movie.
Mm.
So
That's yeah.
it's fine. It's a tight 90 minutes or something like that. It doesn't overstay its welcome. There's a bunch of cool set pieces and everything, but yeah, it could. I would have preferred a more fight centered movie.
All right, Tim.
I feel in a similar way. If you were going to watch the John Cena movies in order of wow, really, this movie would be either before or after The Marine, depending on your preference. It is right up there with that. Well, I'll throw in my note right now. The Marine, they turned on their silly valve slowly. And they just kind of like throttled their little silly valve. Every now and then they let a little bit more silly through.
A
This
little more
movie,
silly gas.
this movie stays hard,
Yeah.
serious and then opens the silly valve all at once. And from that point on, you have no idea what kind of tone the movie is taking at all. Like once the silly valve is open, they don't close it, but it
Okay.
starts out so stoic and so serious. And then the valve is open, and it's like, what is going? Who? It's like a different director clocked in and went, "Here we go."
I think I know exactly which scene everything went off the
Yeah.
rails to.
Yeah.
Karreem?
It was on the level of Moonfall for me.
Dang.
Wait, of what?
Moonfall.
Moonfall. Halle Berry.
Do I gotta bleep you?
No, it was just like I didn't get Jackie Chan in this movie. That it could have been any C star.
Yeah.
It could have been one of the people from his school that needed their first movie. It could it no. And then John Cena. It was like, dude, you were doing so good. This is
So what you're saying is this should have been Sylvester Stallone and Sammo Hung.
it could have been, but no. They I don't know. It was like they weren't even trying in this one. Jackie
Yeah.
Chan would just he phoned it in with his far as what he was doing. First, I thought it was age. Like, no, it's Jackie Chan. This he can still do, but no, he wanted this done and over with. Let's just move on. Even wait, I can't do details yet, but it was that no, just no.
All right.
I was trying to figure out what exactly was in it for both of them because there was no chemistry between them.
Zero. It was like two people first day on the job, and you're like on break from training. And
Yeah.
You're just trying to strike up a conversation. Well, all right, so why'd you apply here?
In a way that, as dumb as it sounds, in a way that validates the way they acted around each other, because it did just kind of feel like two people that don't really care what's going to happen with their relationship like after this moment, except the end of the movie undoes that, I guess.
Tiff?
I hated it until the two characters got together, and then I laughed the rest of the movie. And
That's where the valve turned on. It was just like,
I'm
what are we
standing on
doing?
my own island. I recognize that, and I have no I didn't expect to laugh as hard as I did, but I think I just like stupid shit. And it got
You
really
do,
stupid.
you do.
It got so
I like a goofed up movie. I do.
like
I won't
it's
lie.
not winning any fucking awards or anything like that, but man, like just and like I understand y'all saying they don't have chemistry, but they're stupid on their own.
Yeah.
I was like I was just sitting here laughing like an idiot.
They're like two members of a heist movie that don't really interact much, except there's not 7 people in this movie. There's
Yeah.
Just the two of them.
I mean, because I could recognize what was supposed to be funny, but I just like,
I was laughing. Like any joke made before they started playing catch together, I didn't laugh. I didn't blink. And I was like, this is dumb. And then when they started playing catch together, something happened.
No, it was like they turned on the Jackie Chan switch.
I really sat there and was like, they really sitting there playing catch doing this. And then I don't know, I just accepted it for what it was as a stupid ass movie, and then I just kept laughing.
it was too forced to me.
Look, you all of you were right. And I just found
I don't feel like it was even a forced movie. I really still think somebody was like, we got a random budget. We got a script that we didn't finish, and John Cena can speak some Chinese.
Look,
We're doing
I
it.
legit tried to find why it took 5 years to come out, and I couldn't
Oh,
find
what?
anything. They filmed this in 2018.
That's why John Cena looks so different. I didn't even think of that.
You
Because
know what?
he has bulked up and thinned down so many times that I'm used to him being in the mean of that, in the average anymore. So he was just kind of like a little more bulky. It was just like, when did this happen?
I'm
That's why
used
he
to
looked
him
so
looking
weird.
like a gorilla. Like
This makes more sense as a 2018 movie.
look, since
Yeah.
since I can't remember when, but at some point he got big enough and like his proportions kind of got weird, and he's just been gorilla shaped for for like the last like 4 year, 5 year, I don't know. Since this movie, I guess 5 years. Like he's just been
Hmm.
gorilla shaped. Like his legs need to be like 3 inches longer, and he's or something. I don't know, but like gorilla shaped John Cena is like the funniest shit to me, and it's still funny to me because he's been gorilla shaped for like 5 years. Like I said, like I
He
don't know.
he maintains a good bulk without being like I keep going back to the same five people. He doesn't do that thing where The Rock where he has to be perfect. And I'm gonna just rant for 30 seconds.
Oh no.
The Rock spent 2 years telling us how good Black Adam was gonna be and how ripped he was gonna be in that movie. Why they cover him up for the whole movie? They CG'd most of who gave a shit at that point, man?
You didn't
You're
have to go that
wasting my
hard.
time with your TikToks.
Uh, Look, John Cena. It doesn't help that like he like I told you, his legs need to be a little longer, and he's compared to like how wide he is, and it doesn't help that he got swooped back. So like
Oh, he does.
his stomach kind of pokes out, and his butt kind of pokes out. So he's
See
like,
that? See, those are all the features that made my sister ask if he was mixed. My sister straight up was like, I mean, like, look at like the middle of his face. I was like, please stop, don't do that again. She's like, but like, look at the booty. I was like, stop bringing up things that make me uncomfortable.
I'm laughing because I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I'm not saying
It's
I
like who
thought
his
it,
daddy is.
but I understand.
I mean, he could be. I
Them
mean,
bars kind of good sometimes. I'm just
Look, I'm a stan. I'm a Cena. I'm not gonna say I'm a Cena stan, but I am a fan of his rap album.
here's a rap album.
What?
be your
Where you
man,
been?
Hogan. All right,
John Cena and the trademark?
And the what?
His cousin trademark, the producer.
you know more than my
And
time is now. Then
look,
that's the one I
yeah,
know because everyone knows that.
yeah, because that was his entrance song. Like he rapped his WWE entrance song or
I just yeah. Well, I just thought
but
that was
he had
just
a
for WWE. I
oh
didn't
no,
think
What
he
he
had a
was
was
the
whole
actually.
match where
album.
he
He went
came
to
out
the
and did
Source
half the
Awards.
song?
I can't remember.
I was blown away. I wasn't even watching wrestling at the time. I stayed over at some people's house. They were watching wrestling, and he came out and was doing it. And the whole way down the ramp, up onto the stage, rapping it in their face. I was like, "That's real."
Yeah,
Oh no, that
when
song's real.
yeah, like I thought it was all just a character until I saw that he was actually at like the Source Awards or BT Awards or something
Mm-hmm.
with rappers, and then the album came out, and like we listened to it as a joke, and we're like, yo, this ain't bad. Like
Like I was
he
like,
can.
like yo, this fire.
I was very impressed because
Bars.
after that whole thing where they were trying to make Hollywood Hogan legit seeming, and then they did the rap album with Macho Man, and like I think they did Hulk had a rock album way back, like 4 songs or something. Maybe it's a whole album. I can't remember. But like every time they tried to do music, it was just like, God, you could just hire somebody that does music and not ruin this every time. But it was like John Cena was like, "Oh no, that's a thing that I do for fun," and they were like, "Well,
Yeah,
do you want to work it to your character?" He was like, "Oh, I guess I could do that." It
yeah,
was
and
like,
like that's
bam.
how it happened. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, like I'm not saying like he Kendrick Lamar or anything, but he's
Mhm.
like he's
He can
decent.
take Blueface.
Yeah, like he's decent to most of the folks on the radio now, or more decent than most of the folks on the radio now. So like back then, he might have been bottom of the barrel. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
but
He was
uh,
okay-ish, but it was
That
like for what it
he
was.
can
that's
rap.
that speaks wonders about music today.
I mean, yeah, but
It's unfortunate.
yeah, that's a whole other podcast. But yeah. So let's run through this because not really a lot happens in the movie, so
No.
it's all good. So film starts out with some folks on a helicopter flying across the desert, and we hear the audio from a broadcast say, I think somebody was listening to it on a tablet. After surviving relentless attacks from the mercenary forces in the escalating oil wars,
I missed that, I guess.
Oh, oil wars.
Oil
Oh,
Wars.
I mean, they're touching on some current political things that are going on as well. China does own a few oil fields in Africa for
Yeah.
reasons.
Well, this would have been more relatable of like 2018, though.
Mm-hmm. There was a little bit more talk going about that then. That's true.
so sources tell us that pleas have finally been answered for the besieged employees of the Yutang Chinese oil refinery in the Middle East. Professor
Mm.
Chang, side note, Why are there professors and doctors? I don't know. Anyway, Professor Chang, U-Times director of operations, tells us that a private security team from China has volunteered to carry out the high-risk mission of extracting her trapped oil workers who are
Ugh.
facing certain death and escorting them to the safety of the green zone. And we see Jackie Chan's on the helicopter, and he's steering the picture of his family, and he sticks it into his jacket. Then they land and they meet up with Professor Chang, and he explains the extraction plan to her, which is taking the highway of death to the green zone.
The fastest way.
It's the fastest way.
Fastest way.
And before they leave, we see Professor Chang, give a colleague, Dr. May, her bag to carry, which has an important flash drive on it. That's all we know.
Oh wait, do you mean the dongle?
The dongle. They didn't call it flash drive. They just called it the dongle.
Well, okay, sorry. You finish this part. I'll get on a tangent later.
Dongling.
And then they load onto the buses, and Dr. Chang and Dr. May end up on separate buses. And then we find out that Dr. May is Jackie Chan's daughter. And we also see some dude mark Dr. Chang's bus.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the buses too? Because
I mean, we can go for
Please.
Because why did they have 14 Greyhounds
There was a lot of
driving through the desert?
There's
there was a
500
lot of
people on that.
dudes.
On
You
that
saw how
oil
big
rig.
that
They were
refinery was?
evacuating a city.
Yeah, that was a huge.
On-
I remember thinking are all oil refineries this big? Because I'm not an expert. I don't know.
I was a little weirded out, but he's like, "There's 500 people working on this rig, and we got to get them out." And I was like, "Well, half of them
and,
will
then,
die."
and then how fast were these buses going? Because
You watched the same movie we did.
Not
60
very.
max.
There was something about the scale of the buses seemed so unreasonable too. 'Cause
And
there's
they
a
were
private
huge.
driveway. Exactly. There's a private driveway that leads all the way to the oil refinery. One
They were-
bus takes up the entire fucking road.
They were huge. Like when they showed the scene with Jackie Chan driving, how huge that window was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they showed the camera, they showed the inside of the bus, it's just like a tiny little
Look,
walkway.
This is the near future.
Okay, where dimensions don't work right. Is this?
I mean, they were playing fast and loose with the bus, but if they had to fill each one of those buses with 80 people, they would have had to pay more than $80,000.
So you got a high class military guard evacuating these high value people on broke down Greyhounds.
Hey, the buses were already there.
through Death Valley in a desert.
Look, the buses were already there.
Okay.
Because they remember the security forces flew in.
You know what?
And
Your
the
movie
refinery
budget. Your
just
movie
had-
budget is showing.
All I'm saying is they said 500 people. And then if you do the math, one bus carry 85 people. It kind of works out to 11 buses ish.
There were empty seats on every bus.
Amen.
You weren't
Like a
supposed to be
large
looking at those
number
seats.
of empty
You're
seats.
supposed to be looking at Jackie Chan's.
So y'all in danger, but y'all didn't want to sit too close to somebody. Y'all still no. The
I
seat's
don't want
taken.
to. No, I don't want to sit too close to Curtis. He'd be
The
farting.
seat's taken. Our life's in danger, but yeah, you gotta no. The
Curtis
bus,
be-
the second
Curtis
bus
be-
might have
Curtis
some
be
more room.
farting.
Look, I'm with Tim. On the plane Monday,
Farting.
there was somebody farting the whole fucking time. And I was... I wasn't hot, but I kept turning on the AC just to blow up my face, to blow the fart out my face. It was rough.
You
Anyway,
reach up and turn that little toothpaste knob.
yeah. Anyway,
It could blow at you real hard.
I was happy that at first I thought that the Dr. May was an ex-lover. I was so relieved that it was his daughter because I
Yeah.
remember
She's like
thinking,
17.
yeah, I was like, yo, he
Girl
could
was
be
young.
her dad. And then
That
I
was a
he
confusing
is her dad.
relationship.
No, I was happy. It didn't last long. It was just how they looked at each other when she first got on the bus,
Well,
and then
she
maybe
looked mad, and I figured they knew each other, but I didn't even think about family. I didn't think about.
She looked
I didn't
she
think
looked
about them
angry
being
girlfriend
together. I didn't
mad
think about.
though.
yeah, that's why I
didn't think
thought.
she looked that kind of mad. I thought she looked kind of like you've let us down mad. That's what I was worried about.
Well, no, she looked like an ex that I
That's
took
where
this
my
shot to
brain
get
went.
away from you.
Yeah,
Mm.
Type
but
mad.
it only lasted 2 minutes because then we were like, okay, that's the daughter. All right, cool. Phew.
That's because they had to say it because they
He
realized
just like he
it
just goes,
looked
"You're
different.
just like your mom," and it was like, ah.
I think it could have been better written.
They had to say it anyway because it's in the story. But You just hating. You hating on like a level 9 just out the gate. What did this movie do to you, Kareem? Show me
Wasted
on
my
the doll.
time. Wasted my time. That's what it did.
Okay, but then we see John Cena. I forgot what his character's name is. It don't matter. I'm gonna
John
call him
Cena.
John
It's
Cena the
They
Chris.
just
whole
called him.
movie.
It was just a
It's
white guy
Chris.
name.
Chris.
It's
Just
Chris. It's standard white man name.
Look,
They
John
could have called him
Cena
Brian. It wouldn't have mattered.
sounds better. John Cena sounds like he mixed.
He
Anyway,
got
John
got the calves of a black
I'm
man.
about to go on Google. Is John Cena mixed?
John Cena hitting golf balls out the back of a truck, and then like a big like military, I don't know what you call that, a big military style truck kind of pulled up,
Like
and
a
a
Hummer?
bunch of it was well, a Hummer is like something specific or like a Humvee, but this one was like a transport military.
Oh,
I don't
that's
know.
like the same. It was like the same kind of truck that The Rock drove in the.
In Fast Five. Yeah, it's probably one of them trucks that just the name is just letters. But anyway, so a bunch of armed dudes hop out, and then turns out like they're led by his brother Henry, and Henry's trying to get him to come on one last job.
Back in that life.
He's like,
Yep.
do it for the vine.
And we see we see this in a scene later on. The Cena's trying to fix the well for the village he lives in.
Yeah, John Cena's playing his best white savior role, and I don't know.
I wish they had kind of ticked into that. Like, why do you want to live here? Like, because I killed all the parents.
Yeah, if they
Yeah.
had said something about why he feels compelled to stay and help, that
They
would have been
implied it.
excellent.
Because it wasn't even. It's like he was fixated. Like this was my redemption. I needed
Yeah.
to do this for the. But you didn't say
Maybe.
why.
Maybe something
No,
as
but-
simple as that.
I mean, we kind of dug into it, and I think that's what it is. But they, the movie's too lighthearted and goofy to spell that out. But
Then why put such a sad story with orphan kids in a desert in the movie? This is.
yeah, it's like they set up the stakes, but they didn't want to make you as a viewer understand.
You even had a little sad orphan kid that didn't know how to play ball.
Yeah,
They wrote it. They filmed it. The editors went too sad. Not happening.
let's cut out this one line of dialogue that would have set up this scene
Right.
better.
And the most awkward catch scene in existence.
Oh no, you want to talk about
Oh.
awkward? We'll get to that when the two of them are talking to the orphans. Jesus fucking Christ! Some painful ass fucking acting.
Okay.
Oh no, John Cena is the
Wait.
same age as me.
but yeah,
Shut up.
he got an age filter on. But
Ouch.
the so
Ow. My back hurts just thinking about this.
he agrees to do the job so he can get the money for the well for
Yeah.
the town. But yeah, so the convoy takes off on the highway of death, and like you see, it's just countless scorched cars on the side, but the road itself was actually built up. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's a new road. Anyway, some Middle Eastern children try to blow them up at some point. Like,
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
little ill-defined as well.
Again,
It was
for
like, are
such
the children
for such
themselves
a light-hearted movie? You had death
child
kids.
soldiers?
This is
Child-
is this that hood rat shit you like so much, Tivzilla? Like,
it wasn't enough of it. If it was from their point of view, I would have liked it.
yeah, that might have been more fun actually.
Like trying to see them how did they move those cars? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
So
matter.
anyway, they ran through.
The magic of
there were
filmmaking.
two cars blocking the two scorched cars blocking the path.
Yeah.
They just ran through it, and then they blew up after they got knocked off to the side.
He's all like, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then we get this bit where May, who we now know is his daughter, calls him out for being a shitty dad and a husband. And apparently, like when their mother was in the hospital dying, he never came home to visit because he was on a top secret mission for their country.
Very John Matrix of him.
This part, like Homegirl was acting her ass off. Like she was in a whole different movie. Like they probably had to tell her to tone it down after this.
Yeah,
It's like, hey, this ain't.
She was
You ain't got
auditioning
to
for
do all
another
that.
role.
it's a K drama.
Look, I was like, damn, she really selling it.
So if I can walk it back just a scotch when John Cena is being convinced, Chris is being convinced by Henry to take up the job and get back into that life, right? Henry's like, oh, just like you let down Dad. Like trying to, you know what I mean? Like so much of this movie, the setup to it feels like such a soap opera because it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna guilt trip you by bringing up our dad, who we're not gonna really discuss what happened, but you let him
That's how he
down,
said it, Dad.
Dad. And then it gets even more fucked up because then he's like, oh wait, you don't want to do it because of Dad's memory? Well, what if I told you that these guys we want to knock off, they're the ones who got our previous partners killed? It's like, fuck, dude, what is it? What's the motivation here? And even then, it's like he finally comes around, but it's like, oh, it only gets worse as the plot develops. It gets a little bit more layered.
Convoluted.
Yeah,
Layered yet convoluted.
yeah. It's like pick a lane, guys.
Convoluted.
There's only one. It's a highway of death.
So 1-lane highway.
Yeah,
It's fine.
to death.
There's only two places you can go on the highway of death. To death, or apparently the very safest place you can be, the green zone.
Look,
It's the only place. Take your pick. Or you don't
They
get
need
to
to let
pick.
Karreem
Or you
hold
could
the
pick,
map.
apparently. I don't know.
It's
Which
like
is it?
Seems like a civil engineering nightmare.
Highway of death.
Are there any turnoffs? There's a roundabout? Nope, straight to death.
Just death.
but yeah, so the convoy enters into a very unusual sandstorm that they didn't see coming. In the storm, they get attacked by John Cena and his brother's mercenaries, right? So here's the thing. I'm trying not to pick the movie apart like y'all are. Y'all got it. But this one thing like
You
drove
want
me
to do
insane.
it.
At least until
Join us.
they
Join
start
us.
playing catch. Then I like started to like it. But like there's this one part where the dune buggy pulls up behind the bus, then the guys climb onto the bus, and then they explode the dune buggy, and the dune buggy flips around to the front of the bus,
Cool.
all just
It was
to
cool.
crash, just to crack the window so they could swoop in through it.
Yeah, so
It's
they
like
could drop
these
in.
people are mercenaries, but they are also physics majors.
It's like Scooby Doo.
That scene was very Fast and Furious.
No, absolutely. They did a lot of work for something you apparently could have done with just 4 black Honda Civics.
There's it was pretty cool, even though it felt very Mad Max a little bit. You know what I mean?
The dust storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that ladder on the cars, that was cool. I would love to see more of that.
Did they ever say what actually made the dust storm?
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a truck with a jet engine
That was
on the
that was
back
a
of
real
it.
significant thing.
I forgot about that part. Okay.
I was very impressed that like it sound interesting, but physically seems almost impossible.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
100%. It's
I
not,
was willing to suspend disbelief for this movie.
Yeah, you
yeah.
gotta.
Once the dune buggy
Yeah.
flipped forward
Oh, yeah.
while the cars were driving.
It's like we have to put our grappling hook in the very front of the truck, and then you hit on the brakes. We'll bust into the back. The explosion of the dune buggy blowing up will blow it right back around the front and bust open the front window. Even though maybe we could have done that with just a shotgun.
I don't know, Chris. What if we just put out a spike strip? There's only one lane on this whole highway. You think that would be fine? We just take out the first bus with a spike strip? No. Grappling hooks. We didn't install grappling hooks for nothing, guys.
But yeah, anyway, we get this dizzying 360 fight inside the hijack bus between the girl merc or the girl security forces and one of the mercs wearing a mask, which was neat. But then the camera started spinning even faster, and I was like, all right, now.
Yeah.
But then they threw her out the window, and it was cool because the camera followed her, and then we see her like get up and then jump back down onto the ground so the bus could drive over her. That was kind of cool.
Now that part I did laugh at when she got thrown out the window.
Yeah, she would have had to get thrown so far out the front of the window while it was driving.
Yeah,
60
driving
miles an hour.
Right.
I was weak. I said, "Oh my god!"
She does show back up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
She like we're talking like 200 feet
They
out of it, because if the bus is still driving at the same pace and she needs to stand up and then lie down immediately. I don't know. It's funny.
I realized anything that was above just fighting stunts physics made no fucking sense
No.
for.
Oh yeah.
So it's whatever. But that little bit was kind of cool, even though it didn't make any sense. But yeah, so the convoy makes it out of the storm and they pull over and they assess the situation. Jackie learns that they lost 2 buses. The Mercs took one, and then the other one was just left there. And homegirl who got thrown out the window, she went and picked that one up.
Yeah, they made away with what, 5 people or 4 people, including the Professor Chang.
Because there's only 4 people on the giant bus.
Jeez, you were half watching the movie. They took 5 and then they left the rest on there because when
it was a joke. It was a joke.
So anyway, Jackie calls for the helicopters and like they pick him and May up. Then they go chasing after the mercenaries and like or one. This is kind of weird. One like engages them and Jackie's in the other one and he goes off somewhere else. And like the one that like fights the helicopter, they blow up the helicopter or they like or mess up the helicopter and it like floats off, but you don't see it blow up because they actually pop up at the end of the movie. Anyway,
Lord.
but this is when John Cena like notices something's up because I guess they weren't supposed to kill anybody, even though they're getting revenge. You know what I mean? Like another
Yeah.
Well, I think the impetus was to secure the money, but the benefit was that it was supposed to be the people that killed his previous partners. Was that it? Like it wasn't supposed to be to kill them. It was just supposed to be to take their shit.
Okay, I got you. So
I think
after they shot down the helicopter, which legit was shooting at them also, you see 2 of the mercenaries drive off and like John looks at them funny and they look at the John funny. And it's Tattoo Face, who he nicknamed Graffiti, or
he gave him a different name every time.
Yeah.
And he'd be every time be like, "It's Knox, it's Knox."
And then there was another dude who just wore the mask. He was the dude who threw a homegirl out the window. So yeah, so they drove off.
Scribble Vision was not developed as a character in a way that was congruent to what was going on. It was forced.
It's Knox.
I just like that. I don't know if you guys remember the game Army of Two, but that's basically everything. This kind of just felt like it's like
they could have just plopped this movie into that game.
It might have been better.
We could have played it instead. They're the Army of Two.
It's John Cena and Jackie Chan.
The Mercs they pull up at some ruins and John Cena starts snapping at his brother, asking like, "What you got into, right?" And then we see the dude who was trying to fix the well. He's the big bad guy.
Oh no!
Can't remember, how do I say his name? His name is he was in Game of Thrones.
Because we all didn't see that coming.
He always plays the same like dickbag character, Palau Asbik, something like that. I don't want to say the wrong place he's from and sound insensitive, but he's definitely like, I don't know, somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, I almost wanted to think maybe this guy is okay, but he just seemed too weird about the well thing. Like, I know if I had $10,000, I could fix the well. Like, why is it so much money?
$100,000.
That was right, 100,000. Like, why is it so much money?
Like,
What are you talking about?
well are you making?
Look, they gotta dig
and
a
the
new
old lady
well.
like, John Cena, can you get the money? Ooh. Ooh, John Cena, can you get it?
I thought it wasn't so much fixing the well as it was.
I think he was like bribing the people.
Subvert the
he was
water
going to
rights
have
or
to
something
bribe
like
people
that.
to get them to let him fix.
But
the
everybody is
That's
super
right.
nonchalant about this crazy amount of money in the middle of the fucking desert. You're like, oh, $100,000? Oh yeah, I'll just go do a job. It's like,
Hey man, it's in the
what
near
are you gonna
future and
do?
inflation.
I have a question. Where was those
No.
Greenpeace people?
No,
Where they come and build wells for people? Where were they at?
it's in the near future and they're not coming out to the highway of death to do it.
They learned their lesson last time they came to the highway of death. They died.
Oh, so that was their busted up, broken, blown up cars.
Probably.
They tried and died on the way.
A little bit.
There we go.
There you
Playing
go.
Kumbaya and their car exploded.
Okay, so then we find out that big dude, his big bad's name is Paddock, right? He was the one attacking the refinery in the first place that caused the evacuation, and he wants to take control of it after he done scared him off so he could steal the oil. It's an oil heist. And John Cena's annoyed by all of this and he dips out, right? and he tells his brother, meet me back at the village at 6 o'clock or some bullshit. But as soon as he leaves, Paddock shoots his brother. Rest in peace, Henry. I'm not sure why he shot him. Did he shoot him because John Cena left and he knew that John Cena was the only one that could kill Jackie Chan? Or was the plan always to shoot Henry? I don't know.
I thought he shot him because he messed up something.
Yeah, I thought he shot him because he ostensibly like failed or
I think he
something.
was supposed to kill Jackie Chan and he didn't. Maybe that's it.
I think he screwed up something.
I don't know if any of us actually watched the movie.
I think when he shot his brother, it was just because his brother wasn't like open to like forcing John Cena into like coming back, and it's like, well, those guys weren't supposed to be alive, and you didn't do what I told you, and I'm a not well thought out villain.
Yeah, I didn't
So
save the cat.
I'm just gonna kill 3 other people.
Yeah, so that's good enough for me. Anyway, so Jackie's helicopter follows Cena right through the desert, and they drop him off. And like Cena, who's anxiously waiting on his brother to get back, starts playing catch with like the village kids, and like the ball gets away from him and it rolls over to Jackie. And then we get this. This is the part where like I started liking the movie. We get this dumbass scene with Jackie and John Cena playing catch, and they're like sizing each other up. It's like, you lost. I'm looking for my people. What are you doing in my village? What are you doing in the desert? I'm fishing.
And he hangs onto that fishing thing for way too long.
That part was funny with the ball. I was like, okay.
But like, it's just what? So you lost. And I feel like they both knew who each other. Like, well, obviously Jackie knew, but like he knew who Jackie was. Like, he's one of the dudes that he just robbed, right? And it's
It's like kind of clear that this guy probably came from the bus full of Asian
Chinese
people.
Yeah. Oh man, but yeah. So Jackie gets a phone call in the middle of this, and it's from May, and he's like, "I'm playing basketball with the Bong Chu," which means idiot.
Yeah.
And like the kids want to keep playing, so Jackie leaves Cena alone, but then he follows him over. Like I guess Cena went to go to the meeting spot for his brother, and Cena finds his brother's dead, or maybe he just went to like where I don't know. He went somewhere and he found his brother's dead body, and Jackie's following him.
Yeah, I think it was like where the crew hung out.
Yeah,
Like their little safe space.
I got you. He went over to the hideout, find their dead bodies, which is wild when you think about it, because Paddock killed him at the ruins, so that means he took the dead bodies back to the hangout.
Yeah.
Why? Anyway, don't matter.
Probably so he can see the body.
Just so Cena could see the dead body. Just because he's such a bad guy. He's a real bastard.
Bad guy. Watch out for the bad guy.
This is how evil he is.
He's not smart, but he's evil.
Yeah. So Jackie and Cena start fighting, and like the whole time I'm laughing because like I don't know, I'm starting to. It's been a long time since I've seen a Jackie Chan movie, and like I was appreciating the jokes while fighting, and everything became comedy to me. Anyway, some French mercenaries show up while they're fighting to collect some
This
money.
was clearly when more comedy was just being compounded on top of itself.
Because I don't think they're even a factor in the movie at all, right?
They were clearly there to get their money for weapons that were used in the heist, and they were supposed to be paid for the heist at this point. So they showed up to get their bag.
Right.
And so they show up, and like at the same time that like a grenade pin gets pulled, and he's like, "All right, well y'all work this shit out because y'all clearly ain't got my money." And so they leave, or at least you think they leave, and then they just start shooting up the place. And through trauma, Jackie and John Cena bond while they're being shot at, right?
Like the whole grenade bit was like, stop.
I was laughing like an idiot.
I was like, it's now. That's what I was saying. Like they didn't squeeze the valve open for comedy. They just knocked it off.
Like it was back to back. Everything that came out their mouths, everything they did was a joke after this, and I ate it up. Like I'm sorry, I know it's bad, but I was laughing. Everything was stupid, and I was like, "This is so stupid." As I laughed, But yeah, so I guess at some point the French just stopped shooting. I guess they're like, oh, they got to be dead, or we're out of bullets, or maybe I'm just done.
Yeah, we're
And
wasting more bullets than money we were supposed to get.
yeah,
I did want to say, I don't know what they were making those kind of like satellite strongholds out of, but apparently it's Swiss cheese because
oh yeah,
just bullets flying through it. I thought it was supposed to be made of concrete. They have guns, they have ammo, and they're too busy like doing the bit where they're yelling at each other, like, give me a grenade. Oh, wait, don't pull the pin. You pull the pin on. I don't know. It felt a little forced.
oh absolutely.
A little. Just a little.
So yeah, after this, we see Paddock interrogating Dr. Cheng, and like we find out that or he finds out that the codes he wants to restart the oil refinery, Dr. May has, or at least her phone. No, he doesn't
Yeah.
know who has it. He just knows that it's in a bag, or Dr. Chen's phone is in a bag that somebody else has, right?
Yeah, and the paper that is needed by Paddock is with her phone in her
Okay.
bag.
Right.
Well, no, I thought he just knew about that. He didn't know about the phone. Her son spilled the beans about the phone.
Well, yeah, she was letting people die over it. She was like, I don't know. He just started shooting other hostages, but he knew that one of the hostages was actually her son, and the son blurted out the thing about the phone.
He said, "Look, I ain't dying."
Look, look, why? And I don't blame him because
Not at all. Not at all.
because for what? Like, it's not like he was trying to take over the world. He's not about to commit a terrorist attack. They're not saving lives. They're
It's money.
right? It's
He's cheating over some
it's-
company or something.
It's money that's not even her money. Like,
Right.
look,
Give him the code so he can get his money and I can live. God
And-
darn it.
there's a part coming up, and I'll bring it up, where John Cena is clearly on our side. But anyway, so Cena and Jackie end up back at the village, and like they're entertaining the orphans before their dinner. And I think Ren, you had something to say.
Oh God, this scene was one of I couldn't even watch it. I couldn't watch it. It was unwatchable scene. You have John Cena teaching a huge group of orphans in the Middle
that,
East.
That was not fun at
Old
all.
McDonald. And then you have Jackie Chan coming up and interrupting him to do his
E-I-E-I-O.
best impression of a gorilla and a monkey.
It's like,
and-
what are you talking about? Sir, go sit down.
was so
Having
bad
like
it was cute.
flashbacks to summer camp and just watching two of the most
It was-
uncompatible. It was rough. It was a hard watch.
No, it was not. It was like, guys, I know you're trying to be heartwarming and cute, but
That's
something about this is racist.
Those children are not.
It didn't feel good. It felt bad.
so bad. It was worse than the villain. It was worse than the villain's reason for what he was doing.
It felt like cringe comedy. You know what I mean? It felt intentionally cringeworthy.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, these kids are just like, whatever, just say whatever you have to get these assholes gone. Okay, just laugh, just laugh. Maybe they'll leave sooner. They killed our parents for all this fucking oil here. So
So after they do their performance, I guess
God,
they sit down to talk, and somehow he picks up Dr. May's book or whatever, but it's not a factor yet, right? He just sees the picture is ripped or something. Anyway, but Cena starts to tell him about why he's in the desert and how like his dad died and it was his mistake that got him killed, and Jackie consoles him a bit. But then Jackie realizes that like the bad guys are coming because like the dogs start barking or some shit, right? They're downwind.
oh something. Is that the same time when Jackie's daughter May gets the phone call?
Yeah, it was right. Well, it was she got the phone call before, and then they sent them
Mhm.
after. Yeah, and then
The soldiers came.
yeah, soldiers came. So then
In the night.
we got like a scene of them fighting around the village, and that was kind of fun because you got a lot of physical comedy in the fights, which
Mhm.
you know, like classic Jackie.
Still very silly.
There was one cool detail about it that it meant honestly nothing to most watchers, but I liked it because most movies don't do this, where you have two different people that never met each other that team up for something like this.
Mm.
How that teamwork isn't there yet. They gotta learn how each
They
other
were
fight.
using different hand signs.
Right, where they just it just wasn't clicking. It wasn't clicking, so they were messing up,
Yeah,
but they were still working through it.
I enjoyed that, and like there was one part where like Jackie went up against a dude with a gun, and he did this like scurry on the ground.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, while the guy was shooting, but he was like out scurrying the bullets. That was so cool. And it was a bunch of like little things like that that was fun. And like then they kept the bit going when John Cena was up in the tower and he was doing the wrong hand sign or whatever just to mess with Jackie. And then dude shot a rocket at him. So yeah, so it ends up with like the mercenaries, the bad guys being surrounded by the villagers who all of a sudden they ran out with guns. I ain't seen the villagers the whole movie outside the orphans and the one lady. They all
There's
ran out with guns.
only men in the last 30 minutes that weren't like the top 3 male characters.
Yeah, none of them are able to do anything for themselves, so they all rely on the village's John Cena.
On John Cena.
Yes.
So like Knox, aka Graffiti Face, aka what do you call him, Scribble Face, whatever, the like the scary looking mercenary. He's
Scribble
like,
villain.
look, we just want the bag. And May is like, hell nah, or I forgot what she says, but John Cena just runs back, grabs the
There's
bag,
the money in
comes
the
back
basket.
out, and just throws it at him. And May gets mad at him, and she's like, why would you give him the bag? And he was like, look, I am the defender of this village, and all they wanted was the bag. So I'm not about to get anybody killed over this stupid bag.
He said they just wanted money.
Yeah.
Give them the money.
So yeah, John Cena was on our side, like what we were talking about earlier. All this shit is just money. Like, just let him have it. Like shit, as long as nobody dies. But he said it
Right.
in Chinese, and she was like, "Wait, you speak Chinese?" And he was like, "Yes, that's how mad I am right now."
Like, what does that mean?
I don't know, but I laughed. It was stupid, but yeah. So that was that. I thought that was funny. I don't know if it's problematic, but it was funny. So then Cena and Jackie and May, like they deduce Paddock's plan is to heist the crap ton of oil or whatever, and they head to the refinery to stop him. And like Cena and Jackie take the truck with the jet engine on the back.
A random truck with a random jet.
It's
No,
not a random one.
That's
You
the one they
stopped
used
paying
for the
attention.
sandstorm earlier.
Yeah, that's what
Right.
caused
Yeah.
the sandstorm.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
It took
Who
me a
knows
minute.
how it got back to where it was?
that's true.
That was a hiding spot.
Hey, one of the mercenaries, or I don't know. That makes no
And
sense.
why?
You're right.
Never mind. I'm not even gonna
You know why?
It was there.
don't forget the one scene with the one little lone kid waving at John Cena and him looking at the river.
Wait, what scene was
It's
that?
like, bye. I'm gonna go put some cars on the highway of
When
death.
they got in the truck and started driving away, and they were driving past the villagers, the one little boy
Oh yeah,
started
you're right.
waving a sad goodbye.
Yeah, you're right. Because he was going off to war, man. Have a heart. Shit. So anyway, so they go to the refinery and then like they're fighting through the dudes, and I enjoyed it because there was a whole lot of more goofy fights. And like the village, that was not a CGI set. It was an actual like
No.
built set. So that was cool. Now we're back to the CGI
It felt like it was
stuff,
built in the
but
studio.
it's whatever. We're already used to it at this
I
point.
suppose it could have been inside, but not.
I'm sure they found like some like random ruins and just like maybe built up on it. Maybe.
I don't know. It didn't take much to build some huts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so they're at the refinery now and they're fighting, and there's like this one part with like Jackie's balancing on these like not poles but like pipes and while fighting, and that was pretty cool. And like there's 2 or 3 times where you can tell it's a stunt dude, but he still did a lot of his own stuff. So that was still cool, like seeing him do the stuff on the pipes. And
I
like,
mean, he's old. He's much older now. He can do everything.
yeah.
John Cena had the pipes moving him around like he was like Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah, I like that they incorporated Cena into some of the Jackie physicality. That was cool. And like he had a bit of fun too. Like they put the camera on. Like you could tell everybody was kind of having fun, at least to some extent. Like they put the camera on the end of the pipe that Cena was flailing around.
Yeah.
That was neat. But eventually they get to the control room with the big bad with Scribble Liberty or whatever his name is. And they get Dr. Chang and the son out, and then they go after him and they start fighting, and more Jackie Chan comedy. That was cool. The fight didn't really end. Like Jack, they trick him or they distract him, or Cena distracts Scribble Liberty so Jackie can like spear him through a window. And instead of Cena going to help Jackie, he just goes and chases Paddock, who's trying to get away, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Well,
then
next part.
so for the next part, it's like two scenes intercut with like Cena trying to chase Paddock, who he literally on foot tries to chase him at first, and then May shows up driving his other truck, whose name is Susie. I forgot what the name of the first truck was.
Yeah,
It's a whole bit about him naming his trucks, and
they're like, that's weird.
Jackie and May thinking they're weird. But yeah, but Jackie is still fighting Knox, but now like I forgot what it was, but somehow there's like some bungee cord in the refinery that they were using to bounce up and
I
down with.
I don't know that you're gonna make any logic of any of it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It was, but
Just do your best.
It made for fun. I don't know if it's logical, but who cares? And then he was spraying like the fire foam at him, but then the fire foam, which is a different kind of foam, eventually turned into soap foam, and then the thing broke, so there was just foam everywhere. So it just became a
Jackie
foam.
just blew his whole load all over that guy.
Yo, no. Yeah, so it was like a big foam fight / bungee fight, and it was actually really fun. It didn't make any sense, but it was fun to me because I don't think you put fire like soap foam can put fire out, but whatever, or the thing could just break off that easy. Like literally, the whole room filled up with foam. Anyway, so that was goofy but fun. A little bit.
It happened.
That's a whole movie. It's just like it happened. People spend money on it.
$80K.
80 mil.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Then Cena goes and he chases after Paddock, and like I guess Paddock's in one of the dune buggies that we saw earlier, and they're in like it's a Land Rover, right? And but somehow eventually like that goes off road and flips.
Yeah. So who is it? Paddock is driving in his buggy, right? And they're able to take this jump and land it, and the whole time John Cena is trying to tell May, it's like, May, don't do this. May, slow down. You can't make that jump. This is an old truck. Don't do it. And then wouldn't you know it, she says, don't worry about it, and she proceeds to crush the truck.
The stupidest thing. You spent the whole movie as the smartest person in the movie, and then you do this.
You a whole doctor.
You got a doctorate.
I don't know what you're doing at an oil refinery in the desert, but you a doctor for something. So they crash the car. Cena's having a fit, but then Jackie shows up in the jet truck again, and he picks him up, and Cena's like, okay, well, we got to catch up to him, and the only way to catch up to him is to use the jet. So they turn the jet engine on and they fly up. They caught up to Paddock's convoy. He's in the dune buggy. There's 2 dune buggies, but there's also 3 trucks filled with oil. And they hit the back of the first truck, which spins it around into the second truck, which causes the second truck to backflip
straight jackknife
into
up
the air. And like I'm talking about, it left the ground. It took off like more than
it flew.
The Dark Knight truck flip scene.
Yes,
it did a whole Fast and Furious backflip.
Except no, you keep saying Fast and Furious. They don't abandon physics
Dark Knight.
that
It's
much.
Dark Knight.
Well, Dark
definitely
Knight
happens in Dark Knight.
had a real truck, and they rigged it with explosives, so it did it. This is just CGI. So they said, fuck it, we could just send it 30 feet into the air and have it land on the third truck, and everything explodes. Of course, they're safe. Everybody in the dune buggies die except for Paddock, who he's still in the functioning dune buggy, and he tries to drive off. But so they take the jet truck again and catch up to him. But now the dune buggy's pinned in the front of the jet truck.
You're leaving out like one of the best parts, though.
You are.
Okay. The truck is stuck in the sand.
Oh, that's
it's
right.
not going anywhere. They're like, keep going, hit the accelerator. It doesn't matter. They proceed to have John Cena manually hold the fuel cables in, and then they raise it on these
Oh, right,
skis,
the
I guess.
hydraulic cables.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
Yeah.
it's not
It,
skis. They're the things that go down to like
to lift
kind of
the tires up,
yeah.
but they effectively use them as skis.
There's skis now.
The original
Yeah,
use was to keep this truck still,
Still,
yeah,
yeah.
and now they're using it as
yeah.
skis.
Skis.
And then they
Physics.
turn that jet on, and somehow it goes from 0 to 150 miles an hour, like
They hit the
in the
top.
span of 10 seconds. So I'm sorry, I just had to bring that part up because it was too funny to not.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. 100%. But they caught up to Paddock, and now Paddock,
They did.
his dune buggy is stuck on the front of the truck, and they're heading towards a cliff because all deserts have cliffs.
Well, on top of that, yeah, that whole truck careens over the side of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not even going to try to explain the switcheroos that happen, but long story short, the jet truck goes off over the cliff, but somehow Paddock's dune buggy doesn't. It gets caught on like a rock or something. John Cena
Yeah.
goes off with the jet truck. Jackie somehow gets the seat off that May is in, and he ties like rope around her, or the
It
rope
was connected to
to the
the
dune
buggy.
buggy.
Yeah.
He ties the rope around her in the chair, and he holds on to her, so they fly out. And now they're hanging from the dune buggy. Paddock's up top laughing because he realizes the tables have turned. Jet truck falls down the canyon and explodes. Who knows what happened to John Cena? But then I can't even remember how they make it happen. But somehow the dune buggy falls with Paddock.
Well,
in it.
he got full of himself and was like excited. And he's like, "Well, I
Yeah.
guess I'll drive away." He put
Yeah.
it in gear, got on the gas, and the front wheel rolled right over the rocks that were
Oh,
keeping him from
jeez.
falling, and
Yeah.
he fell.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
simple.
that.
It
I
was his own
expected some
fault.
sort of thing where they like maneuvered the rope
Nope.
or like pulled him or like
He
they
was
got
just an
up and
idiot.
fought him. No,
He wasn't a
he
doctor.
just bad driver.
Evil, not smart.
He celebrated too early.
Yeah. Literally could just stepped out of the car.
Yeah.
Right.
Could have just got out of the car and been like, "Yes, I'm alive." Nope. Let me put this thing in gear. Oops.
So now because the dune buggy's fallen, like Jackie hurries up and unties May just in the nick of time, and they survive.
Don't forget
And-
the wink he gave him before.
Oh yeah, Paddock winks, but
Haha, I'm gonna die, but I'm taking you with me. Haha,
and it's like
gotcha.
Forgot about that.
they untied him not just in time. Paddock drops to his death.
Yeah, you get that one reaction shot too. He did the wink, and then they untie it, and you get one more reaction shot. It's like, aw.
Why though?
And so
I'm
the two of
nuts.
them are on this ledge, and then it's John Cena. He climbs up from he climbed the
It's John Cena.
He's like, "Hey, little help." It was like, "What in the hell?"
I did hear his wrestling entrance when he popped back up.
Dopadoo.
Rabadoo! So they never specify or like give you any sort of hint, as in was he hanging on there the whole time, or if he just really just climbed up the. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, up leading to that point before the truck careens over the edge, they were doing that whole back and forth banter thing that they were
Yeah.
talking about before with the hand signs. Like, oh no, it's fine, just this one time, do like hand sign numbers, and then like you don't hear anything, and then
Yeah.
like the last 10 minutes, you're like, wait, did he die? Did he fall
die?
off the edge? They didn't say anything.
Right.
It was all about the dude in the buggy and then Jackie Chan and his daughter
They
for
just
like
showed
the
up.
last
Yeah.
10 minutes, and you're like, wait, did they just kill off John Cena
I really thought they did.
so
like, wait.
unceremoniously?
Because they purposely showed wide shots of the cliff, and
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was nowhere.
They're
to
nowhere,
be
He wasn't
nowhere
on it.
around.
He,
That's
he,
an old
he
step.
climbed up the cliff. That has to be it. He climbed the cliff. Anyway, he like
But they couldn't give us one scene with him on the side of the cliff. Like
nah. It had to be a surprise. You couldn't see him coming.
He just straight up goes, "Hey guys."
It didn't
Well-
lend itself to anything interesting happening. He didn't come and help with Paddock.
Uh,
You know what I mean? Like it was just what was the
nothing.
point?
There he
He's
is.
just, no, I'm still alive.
It's like no feel good movie. It's a
It's
family
like
film.
It's like maybe John Cena was like, "I don't want to like kill anybody like directly. Let me have like some acted in a weird. I don't want to like kill a person with my bare hands.
You killed my brother, but they got it.
Yeah,
They got it.
I mean, his brother was kind of a dick. Like he was when he saw his dead body, he was like, "I'll see you in the next life," something
well,
like
he
that. Like
kind of was like, yeah,
that was
that
the
was gonna
only
happen.
morning. Yeah, it was only a matter of time.
Not even a tear.
I mean, he knew he was fucking around. Like, so, anyway, so John Cena's back, and then he was like, "So Confucius, since you know everything, how are we going to get off?" And then it cuts to just them screaming help, and the movie ends.
Yeah, some people barely found him, and then Jackie Chan at the very end goes, "Hey, I've got a new mission. Wanna go?" And
Oh,
it's
no,
a
that's
setup
in
Oh
for a
yeah,
sequel that will
oh yeah.
never happen.
It
thank
cuts
God.
to them back at the village.
Yeah.
Apparently, they just lowered them down the well, and they did whatever they had to do because then water started erupting, and they pulled them back up the well.
What
And
what I was hoping was that the doctor figured out how to fix it,
I mean, maybe
and they
she
had to
did,
go
but they were the ones who had to go down the hole.
in.
Maybe that's what she's a doctor of.
And don't forget to mention the strange elite guard that just walked up.
Oh yeah, they just walked up and was
Oh,
like, "Hey, we have another mission, boss." And
Yeah.
then Jackie looks at John and he's like, "You want to come?" And John's like, "Hey, I have a family now."
Ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah. So that's the end of the movie. But then they play a blooper reel during the credits.
Dag. Just
I
that
dag.
was so hard to watch,
for y'all, I was crying laughing.
bro.
I'm not even exaggerating. I was in fucking tears.
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know
I
what's
said
wrong
in
with
the
me.
chat, there's the words. That was the rant and ravings of a man who knows that half the people who are around don't know what he's saying, and he's just
So
going off.
he was just seeing he was like pushing the envelope to see like what they would recognize because he starts talking about eating ass. And
Yeah,
Jackie had a straight face.
Jackie Chan just does not know what to do with John Cena's energy. It feels like.
Look, I love it. It's chaotic and like I feel like Cena picked up on that. So he was just being as wild as fucking possible. And Jackie's just like
So yeah, all right. So
he said he kept going. He didn't just say because it was the scene where he was talking about May, but he didn't know May was his daughter yet. And in the movie, he said she got a nice booty, and he was like, "That's my daughter," and like end the joke,
That
right?
was it.
But in the outtake, he was like, "She got a nice booty," and he like licks his fingers and he like slaps the air, and he was like, "Man, and I eat ass too." And you call that an upside down motorboat, because the it's in the air, and, and like he kept talking.
When like
And
later on, they're in the truck, and John C is going off on another tangent, and Jackie Chan just looks dead in the camera and
dead
just
in the
goes,
cameras,
"I
he's
don't know
still
what he's talking about."
I was in fucking tears, like
he
'cause
said, "I'm not in this."
all I picture was John Cena just being a fucking menace to Jackie Chan the whole time. And like you have half the people who don't know what he's saying and half the people who are just like cheering him on. I don't know. I would be like I'd be the one person laughing at his jokes, and that's enough for him, so he just kept
Yeah.
going.
Probably was that one person that he brought with him that kept laughing.
I remember I saw Hannibal Buress at a comedy club, and we were up front, and he had me laughing so hard I started to cry, and he just like kind of did this thing where he like stopped, looked at me, and I was like, "Got him." That would be John Cena. Like me laughing so hard I'm crying is enough to keep him
Okay.
saying dumb shit. But yeah,
So that's the whole ass movie.
that's
At
the whole
this
movie.
point.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot there. Yeah, I guess we we can start asking each other dumb questions.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna start with Ren. What was your favorite aspect of the film? Because I don't. Now Kareem definitely took this the hardest, so I'm gonna
What?
save him for last. He straight up didn't pay attention to like 20 minutes of the
I
movie.
think the movie was generally unremarkable. I'm sorry. I wanted to like it. I like John Cena, and I've liked Jackie Chan movies. But there wasn't a lot for me. I don't know if this is my kind of movie.
No, we're not giving a lot of props and kudos. I don't think as a collective, it is
Oh
all
no,
to
no.
Fry.
I said it. I said it at the beginning that I'm on this island by myself.
I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of 10 out of 10. You're getting a lot of 10 out of 10 vibes on my letterbox from Tiff right now.
This is definitely the kind of movie that you find in the $5 Walmart bin
Yeah, so
at the
like
bottom.
there are certain things that kind of just irked me a little bit because we have like Chinese interests in a Middle Eastern country, and we have, who is it, Chris, who obviously isn't from there, and you can't tell exactly why he's supposed to have been there, if he was a soldier, if he was a mercenary, or what. Like, you don't really understand his role. But then you also have Paddock, and Paddock is like, oh, look at all this. All this is like just here to be taken. So there's just different levels of like capitalism and colonialism, and just like, no, we're here to take shit. So for to portray John Cena now as this person who's supposed to be like, I stay to protect this village. It's like, okay, well, why do you feel compelled to do this?
What
You
did
know
you
What I
do?
that.
mean? He just like installed
Like,
himself
what
as like
did
a
you do,
white
man?
savior after like he killed off all the parents there.
How did you get here?
What did
sir?
you done did?
He was a mercenary with his dad, and he killed all them kids' parents, and he felt bad. And he
He
stayed.
killed all the parents in the village except for those random men with sticks.
Or he's a random white dude popped up in the village. The adults hate him, want to get rid of him, but the kids love him, and the adults sitting in the background like, oh, why won't he leave?
Well, we don't want to take care of these kids, so
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
no. I'll stay and teach them the white ways of learning old MacDonald how to farm. It's like, fuck, dude, why don't you just participate in their culture if that's the case? You know, like I don't know.
all those men came out at that one point in the movie because they thought it was going to be an
Where were
opportunity to beat up
they?
John Cena. They were like, wait a minute,
They-
these other guys are worse. Okay, well, just for now,
Monday Night Raw in the middle of the desert.
we thought we was going to slap them up.
And then also May, it was like the most one note character. You know what I mean? Like, she barely did anything, or they didn't really give her the authorship in her own role.
She
Do
carried the plot in that briefcase. That's what she did.
Uh,
She carried the plot with her.
plot hole filler.
and she was like Jackie's motivation, which still just makes her a prop. But
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah,
not a love interest, but at least just the lady.
I like that in the outtakes when Cena was doing the most. Like, she barely laughed, but she was also kind of like lost.
I wonder why.
Like, it's like she wasn't sure if she was allowed to laugh or not, and Cena was just going off. Anyway, Tim, I forgot what we were talking about. But
You were asking us like spots of the movie that we liked.
yeah,
I'm gonna go in the other direction. I feel like the foam party just threw me. I didn't understand what the fight motive, like nothing was. It was just made very little sense, and
Just confused.
I don't know.
You,
I know that Scarface died in that situation, but I think it was just of embarrassment.
you, you rocked with the movie until the phone popped out. You was like,
Like,
what?
what are we doing? I know the silly valve is all the way on, but I didn't know it was filled. I didn't know the pipes were filled with foam.
oh man, Kareem.
What parts did I like? The fight scene before he gave the case up in the village.
Oh yeah, fighting around the village.
Yeah,
with
that
the
that
was-
little
that
bit of
was-
stealth parts.
that was all right, but other than that, it's garbage. It's just moonfall.
I will say, I just jumped back in. The Roadrunner logic of letting the guy think that he won and then having him fall was pretty good.
Okay. Who is the MVP character? I know there's only 5 characters.
Was there one?
Homegirl that ducked under the bus and left the movie. That's
There you
her.
go.
That's who. She was like, I don't need to be here.
She had her one good stunt scene that proved she can do stunts. I'm out.
Yeah.
I can do stunts. I'm out.
She like looked under the bus. She goes, I think there's a way right out of this movie or under that bus.
Ren, you got one?
I don't know if I have one.
That's fine. That's fine.
This movie
So everybody's a loser.
was genuinely hard to watch, and I didn't care. Because like I said, it felt so unnecessarily convoluted because
Things were rough.
yeah,
It was
nobody
like
was interesting enough to
it
really give a shit
was
about.
it was like convoluted and simple at the same time, which broke my brain because there were so
Uh,
many
I think
possible
more
plots.
dialogue. Yeah, I would have settled
Less,
for like an extra 10 minutes on the movie with just more fights and maybe a few more lines of dialogue to justify why Chris was there, why I should give a shit, how it cost $80 million to make a movie that took 5 years to release. I don't
80
know,
million
literally
though.
anything.
Less foam
80.
party.
I'm still trying to figure out where the 80 million went.
I think the MVP into
Fussing.
Jackie and Cena's pockets. The MVP is Dr. Chen's son that was like, "Yo, the phone is in the bag. Don't shoot."
I'm not
I don't know
finna
what's wrong
die
with
over
her,
some gas.
What are you doing? Phone's in the bag.
Mom.
Do you not see this gun pointed
the,
at my head?
the fuck, Mom? Like,
He must have cussed her out when they left.
I'm not finna die over some gas over here.
Over some money.
oh man. I already know the answer to this since this is a very similar question. But the favorite character and what character are you?
Ugh. I just don't think I made it into this movie.
Okay.
I did. Let's have Truck Girl get her shine. Maybe May, for just dealing. But
She had to put up with them.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, final thoughts then.
I don't know how they. I don't know. I don't know how they pulled this off. There's just no reason a lot of this stuff should have happened.
Bewildered.
I understand why it didn't make it to the theaters in the U.S. They probably tried and was like, no.
Yeah.
What streaming service wants this? Netflix. You got it.
Yeah,
You
they'll
got
buy
it.
anything.
I wanted to start a new bit where I read funny letterbox reviews, but
Oh, I gotta make one of those.
the funniest ones I've seen so far is Michael, literally just Michael. His review is "Cinema is back, everyone."
Oof.
Finally.
And Ashley, literally just Ashley, says, "Not my most embarrassing thirst watch, but not my proudest either." Slanty face. I don't think we're going to top Cinema's back. Somebody said, or not somebody, I can read their name. Cryptic No One says, Cena's almost perfect Chinese makes this shit so much funnier. Thank you. I'm going to like that one. I don't know if it's almost perfect or not, but.
Oh, okay. I had one part of this movie that I liked.
Okay. Oh, what you got?
I liked the failure to deliver on Chekhov's gun. I'm going to call it a Chekhov's huh? Because Jackie Chan in the beginning, when he's first pairing off with John Cena, they both get in the truck. Jackie Chan's being a stickler and being like, hey, put your seatbelt on. And he also told his daughter in the beginning of the movie when she's on the bus, hey, put your seatbelt on. John Cena in the last scenes of the movie is like, oh, it's upset. He's like, he breaks the seatbelt.
Okay, well,
and that's how he ends up outside of the truck.
It's not
with
a
the big old
gun.
That's technically
stuff.
that delivers.
No, it's Chekhov's huh? Because if the seatbelt saved him,
if it saved
it would
him,
have been Chekhov's gun.
I got you.
But he never put his seatbelt on.
Window. Yeah,
they got me good. They got me good. It's a good movie.
Around.
I take everything back.
This is 10 out of 10.
Yeah, cinema is back, everybody.
Jail says, so I proudly paid 40,000 rupiah to see John Cena sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't even know what money that is. What country money is that?
It doesn't matter. It's too much.
Is it? Google that. Okay. All right. Ratings. Ren.
Indonesia. Oh, Indonesian money.
Okay. All right.
No.
It's $2.61.
See,
still too much.
We learned something. What's your ratings, Ren? Rating.
God. I want to try to make it funny, but it sapped all cognitive abilities that I have. I'm gonna give it 1 out of 10 white saviors. in the middle of the desert.
Okay. Tim?
My usual rating is to tell people whether or not I would recommend this movie to them. I'm not going to remember I watched this movie long enough to tell anyone to watch it. If someone brings it up to me, I will tell them to not.
Tim's gonna actively deny ever
I'm
having
going to be
heard
like,
of it.
no, don't do that. Watch another movie instead.
Literally any Jackie Chan movie.
Do something else.
Other than this.
Watch Rumble in the Bronx and pretend
Dude.
that John Cena
Annie.
is in it.
Annie.
Kareem?
Oh, okay. I got a new rating system. Okay. Moonfall. Okay. To I don't have a best. I guess Interview for Vampire. I'll say that because that was a good movie. Y'all didn't like Interview for Vampire?
No, I'm trying to figure out your rating system.
It's not that we didn't. It's like, where are you going
No,
with
it was
this?
great. I'm waiting for where it lands on that scale.
The faces you made.
We're waiting on
wait.
you.
Well, I was like, where are you going with it?
Ponderous.
But no, it's
You just named two movies and stopped talking.
Oh, did my mic go out? Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
But no, it's Moonfall level. It's why.
Why do we do this movie? Okay.
Why did you sign on to do this movie? Yes, this is
Look, okay. I
10 out of 10.
life's changing. This
I'm gonna explain my
dear.
rating in my letterbox review.
Rotten Tomatoes 80%.
80.
So podcasts can be qualified as movie critics on Rotten Tomatoes. So if we ever get there, this would be a thumbs down because it's 4-1, clearly. But I'm gonna say on a scale of 1 to 10, this is a 5.5. It's just above
okay.
unremarkable, but I'm gonna bump it up to a 6 because I legit laughed half the movie. Now, is it stupid? Yes. Is it a good movie? Hell no. But I enjoyed myself. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of pity.
Oh.
Man, I love Pity 6.
I know it. I know it's a Netflix movie, so it's never going to see the light of day on DVD. But if it was, it popped up at Dollar Tree on the DVD shelf for $125, because that's what they are now, I would pay $125 for this.
Really?
Okay,
Yes.
so you know Criterion?
Nah, it's not. I didn't laugh that hard. But
So you would carry garbage into your house?
God damn. I guess so. Oh, look, another Letterboxd review.
Let me stop.
Letterboxd review by Logan. Weird how they made a movie where Jackie Chan just talked to himself half the time, but I guess it worked. All right. On that note, plugs.
Oh shit. We're on Blue Sky now.
Hey, gang,
with
gang.
Power Bomber as well. Same thing with Instagram. We also have an Etsy. We do prints, shirts, stickers. Just doing some stuff as a hobby. We're still getting some random traction on our Etsy store, despite not having put anything new up for a minute. But hopefully
Power
we're
of
gonna
the
get
podcast.
Oh, that must be it. It's that one dude in Ontario. Thank you very much. Shout out Ontario. Yeah, so that's basically where we're at. The hope is to get some more screen printing stuff done, so that way we actually have some newer items to put in the listings. But yeah, that's it. You can find us anywhere. Power Bummer. One word.
Tim?
Same old D&D sluggers. I possibly have an upcoming thing to keep a lookout for on my Patreon and other places. A possible new release that was almost conceived by accident. You'll probably be more to hear about that on the Patreon. So if you're on there, you're on there. And then any other social media that isn't the softball team in Georgia is me.
Kareem.
I got nothing.
So I gotta ask you, since we're all on Blue Sky now, would you like to be on Blue Sky?
What is that?
You don't even know what it is. Oh, never mind.
It's a Twitter replacement.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I'm not on X anymore. It's
Okay.
X.
Well, there you go.
When it changed to X, I thought it was a malware app that I
Oh yeah,
installed on my
because they
phone.
full on changed the icon.
Yep.
And I uninstalled it, and then somebody told me that's Twitter. I never went back. I said, oh, that's dead. That's dead. That's
All right. Well, I'll talk to you about it offline. But I gotta figure out if I don't remember if I'm still updating the Twitter X for SGBK, since that was literally the only SGBK account. Everything else is me personally. But I guess you could follow me personally on Letterbox at Tiffron or Tiffzilla, and on Blue Sky at Tiffron or Tiff. I can't remember which name it is, but Anyway, if you're on Blue Sky, shout out.
Come through.
On that note, thank you for joining us. Bye.
Take
Later.
it easy.
boom.